Alright, it's recording now. Welcome to another segment of Talent Mark's news podcast. My name is Moises Lopez, cartoonist for the Talent Marks. You've seen my work on the covers of each Talent Marks newspaper this semester, and the Talent Marks Wings magazine, out now in every building here at Cerritos College. With me is Cory Gutierrez. Cory, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Cory. I'm the director of ICC, that's the Interclub Council, but also I'm the president for Anime Club. And with me, I brought one of the members, Jackie Enriquez Diaz? Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jackie.
Hi, I'm Jackie Prez Enriquez. I'm the social media manager for the Anime Club.
Awesome. Cory here is also the president for the director of the Cerritos College Interclub Council. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. This segment is for my TV production class in conjunction with Talent Mark's production team. In this segment, we're going to be interviewing Cory here and asking him a series of questions about his passion and love for all things anime. All right, so we got a few things lined up here. We're going to be going straight to questions. First and foremost, when did you get into anime, and what were the anime cartoons you were watching growing up, Cory?
When I got into anime at 8 years old. The first one I started was Dragon Ball. My uncle was the one that introduced it to me, and like it was real good. And then he showed me like little clips of Naruto and other animes back then.
Cool. All right, we're going to go into the next question. What are your thoughts on the current state of anime, and what do you think about the fandom of anime and how it's grown to be so popular?
I believe like with the fandom, like there are some toxic ones, but there's some that like they build communities like where they help each other. They have understanding of certain animes. They're open minded, but also like anime right now, it's currently blooming. Like I feel it's one of those industries where it's blooming, everyone's into it. Like other than music, that's like one of the top things people talk about.
Cool. Yes. It seems that like anime has grown to a larger extent. We're gonna go ahead and go into the next question. What made you take up the mantle of Anime Club president, or what made you decide that Anime Club is something so important that you need other people to also get involved in keeping the club going?
The thing that got me into Anime Club and wanted to start one was because it pushes creativity, but also it builds that bonding between students where it's not in the academic purpose like other clubs are, but more like a social gathering where we could discuss the same hobbies or elaborate on different thoughts on the same anime, or recommend each other's new stuff to watch.
Cool. I also posed the same question to you yesterday, Jackie. Now I have it a little bit more just fleshed out. Basically, what does Cory mean to the Anime Club, if you can elaborate on what he means to the group?
Cory to the Anime Club is he's a very large factor of kind of the production that kind of comes on for a lot of what we do in the Anime Club. So he helps coordinate a lot of these kinds of things. Independently, also kind of coming up with where the Anime Club goes, even like far into the future, and starting to plan things ahead of time, so everything is coordinated properly.
Cool. What do you think, Cory, of the terms people use for anime fans, like weeaboo, weeb, otaku, shonen, or the negative terms like weeb trash? I want to reiterate this myself. I don't care if people see me as weeb trash. I love the fandom. I've grown to love any aspect of it. I just don't like it used on me in a negative connotation when somebody does not know anything about anime themselves. I kind of see that as nonsensical. What do you think, Cory?
Well, for me, I agree with you. Like personally, I don't really care about those, but like if someone's gonna call you that, I feel like they should know a little bit of like what it is, like what is anime, and the culture behind it, and like, but if I see it like with someone that I know, someone across someone that I know that, and they mean it like in an insult way, it's where it gets me a little bit, because I'm like they haven't really done much to you, because like that's not really like an insult basically.
Yeah, that's my thoughts are exactly the same. What about you, Jackie? What do you think about the terms people use to kind of in a positive way, some in a negative way? All around, what do you think about certain titles like weeaboo, weeb, otaku, shonen?
You know, like the more positive light ones is like being called weeb or an otaku and stuff like that. I think like that's pretty common amongst even like the people in the actual community. But with, you know, more targeted or like meaner ways of saying it, such as like weeb trash and stuff like that, I think it also kind of just breezes by. But you know, I wouldn't want it to actually affect any of the actual people in any kind of capacity, but I doubt that it actually ever does impact
Awesome.
people.
Yeah, very thoughtful. Going to the next question, what are your thoughts on some of the rivalries between that different kinds of anime, like shonen, mecha, lolly, romance, hentai, and the more sophisticated types of anime, Cory?
Well, I watch a lot of romance, but then I also watch shonen. Like I grew up on shonen, that's why I started off. And like I feel like the rivalry between each one, like it's kind of childish. Like there should just be peace between the communities, because like we all have like, we're all interested in one type of hobby. Like we all enjoy the art and culture of it. So like why should we fight amongst each other? Like where we could just unite and like show each other's different aspects and why we enjoy this type of show it over the other.
Very good, very good. We're gonna take a break from questions right now, and we're gonna start the second segment, which is the recording now. All right, we are back. We want to start with this next segment. This next segment is just an open debate about anime in general. What I want to start it off with is the origins of anime, and anybody here can come and chime in. To me, the origins of anime started with Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. And basically, Osamu Tezuka was a very big fan of Walt Disney. Osamu Tezuka was one of the first anime directors, if not the first. And he happened to be a big fan of Walt Disney. He saw a lot of Walt Disney's features, including Mickey Mouse itself. From that, what do you guys have an opinion to the fact that Walt Disney was very much influenced by Walt Disney? And the big I thing that a lot of people get wrong is that a lot of European based people, they think that the Japanese eyes, the big eyes, have to do with, Japanese must like Europeans, and the big eyes, that's why they put big eyes in the cartoons themselves. But from my knowledge of it is that Osamu Tezuka just really liked cartoon image. A lot of it like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where there was a Toon Town and all the toons had big eyes. They all looked very similar to each other in a community, and that's what he thought for the medium itself, is that all cartoons should pretty much have big eyes. Is there anything you guys know about the origins of anime that you want to let everybody know about?
Well, for origins, I don't know that much about it, but I know like when it first came out, like they were basing it a lot like on history and stuff. Like I believe it's the Fireflies one. It was based on, or I think Graveyard of the Flies.
Oh, Graveyard of the Fireflies.
Yeah, Graveyard of the Fireflies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that covered a pretty.
Yeah, it was about like World War II. Right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, like I feel like when it first came out, it was like it was mainly like underground stuff. So like when the big guys came out, that's when it started popping out more because it was more like for everyone, like to relatable. Like it didn't seem so much more as history, but it felt more like a cartoon. Like
Yeah.
people could relate to it, or like people saw joy in it. Cause like the Fireflies one, like it's real deep, like it's real depressing. Cause if you watch it, like it's basically after World War II.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the World War II theme played a part in the origin of how anime started?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe the
cause
feeling of kind of the after effects of war made some Japanese creative people reach out to American cinema. For example, they reached out to not only Walt Disney, they reached out to other avenues of American cinema. For example, Akira Kurosawa of Seven Samurai also really found that American cinema played a part in his storytelling. Is there anything you guys know besides World War II that happens to be about the origins of anime itself, or even now, like how it's shaped it? Maybe if you guys are into the '80s, Robotech, Macross, Gundam, anything like that.
as of now, yeah, I noticed that a lot of animes like they'll represent Japan, like having either the structure of some of the cities or like a little bit of their folk tales. Like for example, in Naruto, the Nine Tails, I forgot, is it Kurama?
Um,
Yeah,
No,
I think it was
Naruto.
named Kurama. Like it's named after the fox demon that they believed in
Yeah.
like beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like so that's their way of preserving their culture and history, like through generations.
Awesome. So you think that the thought demons in anime still keep it intact today?
Yeah.
Right? And so so that you will not forget, or even if you do forget, like the thought demons in anime are what kind of usher in the new anime and keep it evolving from the older anime to shaping it to what it's become now. Is that what kind of you're trying to elaborate?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like anime's been like that's like what's shaping now, like
Mm-hmm.
because even now anime's present, like Jujutsu, like they use that as a location that you can actually find in Japan. It's the KFC's location.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of animes do that.
Really?
They reference real locations, but you know they'll always have their own twist on it.
Awesome. Yeah. What about anything that you want to let us know about? Do you know? I know you set up something about your brother. He was in the or he wanted to become an animator.
Yeah.
Do you happen to like find anything within the anime industry, any facet of the anime industry that you want to talk about? Like maybe you like Sunrise over another company like Madhouse, for example. Madhouse created One Punch Man. Sunrise creates the Gundam series. I don't know who creates the Naruto series, but maybe you do. Is there any specific company you uphold rather than others, or you want to bring in your own that you think you like?
For me personally, I like Aniplex because like they're the ones that created Jujutsu. They've been they've been pretty good, like updating their animation skills like a lot, like with each episode. Like you could like from season 1 to season 2, you could tell the comparisons. Yeah.
Interesting. That anime is called Jujutsu.
Yeah, that's the name of the anime.
And that company is the Animeplex.
Yeah, and like they create other ones like Demon Slayer, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer. That's a newer one too.
Yeah.
What about you, Jackie? Any like production company that stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Kyoto Animations. They made some really, really big anime films mostly.
Okay.
So they're not as consistent with actual series. And on top of that, Studio Trigger, they made some really popular. They made the Cyberpunk Race
Cyberpunk.
Runners that just recently came out on Netflix. It was a really good show as well.
How do you say that? Kyoto Anime or something like that?
Kyo Annie.
Kyo Annie.
That's like the abbreviated version, but it's Kyoto Animations.
Kyoto Animations.
Yeah.
I've got to look into that. Cool. All right. And anything you want to say about either same questions, but for the anime, the manga format? I know. Was it
Toriyama?
Toriyama, Dark Horse is a big anime publisher. For the life of me, I'm forgetting the other ones. But any other manga that you want to bring up?
Well, with manga, usually I read it once in a while, but I'll know them like by the name. But like they're pretty good because like you could tell that the artist like put effort in it. Like for example, Berserk, like it's a older manga, but it's still relevant now. Like people are still buying merch from it because it's staying up to date. Like the graphic designs in it, it's amazing. I have a friend that is super big on that anime. Like they're in the Discord also. Yeah, like you could tell like he's the one who introduced me to it, and like I looked at the book. It's like you could tell the effort they put, the skills they have to write a manga.
What about you, Jackie? Do you have anything on manga itself that you want to?
I don't really know much about like the manga side of things.
Manga series. Cool. The other comic that I wanted to talk about was it was Kodansha Press or Kodansha Comics, and they put out like stuff on Attack on Titan, stuff of that nature. It seems like they have a lot of other comics too. The Kodansha Press, which is like, I don't know why they don't. They seem to have big titles, but they're not very really known. It seems like the anime companies take precedence over like the manga formats, and that's what I've come to understand. Anything you want to talk about in terms of anime production itself? Has your brother ever elaborated with you on what it takes to animate? I know from reading articles that it's really low pay. People go to Japan, to Tokyo to learn how to animate, but it's the Japanese animator himself is very much he gets no recognition sometimes. Long hours, so they're smokers, so they're very stressed out. Can lead to suicide sometimes. Is what I've read about that kind of industry. What do you guys have to say about the industry stuff? Do you particularly know anything? Maybe your brother elaborated with you on anything of that nature?
Well, for my brother, it was more like he didn't really care about the pay or anything. It was more like seeing his artwork, like live on even after he's gone, or seeing it like seeing it like actually made into something.
Come to life.
Yeah, come to life. Like.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Jackie? Anything that you want to talk about in terms of production of anime? Maybe something has to happen in Japan to make things a little less stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot more news kind of talking about the like really long hours and the short income and everything like that.
And conditions.
It's a really competitive industry as well, especially with all of the workloads that are coming with each of the major anime productions. Very, very consistent on some of the very same studios where, the conditions get really, really, really harder.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's no recognition for most of them at all. So definitely there has to be more attention kind of being taken on that.
Awesome. All right, guys, that concludes our segment about just having an open debate about anime itself. Did you guys want to add anything else to this segment? Cory?
No.
Good. Jackie, you're
No.
good? All right, we're going to move on to the next series. I'm going to just stop recording, and then we'll move on to the last questions. Okay, cool. All right, so I didn't add the questions on there, but you already answered one of them. Okay, so here, wanted to ask Jackie a few questions. When and where did you get into anime? What was your first anime you watched?
I first got into anime through like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and even a little bit of Beyblade. There was an animated series on it. It was very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh in the same kind of format. But I really started out with Pokemon for a little bit, but I didn't really want to pursue more learning into anime until like elementary school, where I watched like my first Studio Ghibli movie, and then eventually discovered kind of more animes in general. So definitely at a very young age, I kind of really got into it.
What was your first anime? Was it Beyblade? Was it, you say Beyblade?
Yeah, the Beyblade like
Okay.
anime series.
Cool. I believe I wanted to ask you one more. Can you give your thoughts as authentically as possible about what Anime Club can do better? Possibly any ideas for Cory and the group, and what you want to see Anime Club become?
I mean, I definitely want to see, more participation with a lot of the members, because we do have a very big group, like on the online side of things, or at least like communicating through like the Instagram. But I mean, otherwise, I think that, looking forward for the Anime Club, I don't really have too many suggestions on Cory's side. He's been doing a really good job of like coordinating things and at least getting things prepared for as the days kind of come and go.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Jackie, for that. You've been great help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Let's go switch channels.
I'm going to take off.
Thank you for that.
Easy.
We are back with the last segment of the podcast. We still have Cory here, and we're just gonna finish up with these questions. Is anime overall positive or negative in your opinion, and why?
For me, I feel like it's a positive aspect because it pushes people to either work out, because I've seen people work out just to get the anime physique, or like push more in their creative aspects. Like for my example, my brother, like it pushed him to draw more and pursue more of more advances in editing and creating animations himself. Like there are like a lot of things to it. Like you do grow closer to the characters and stuff, but like it helps you grow overall. Like there's a lot of psychological studies on it that where people that have seen anime, like they're either less depressed or like they feel more encouraged to do more stuff, like explore more or want to go travel like to Japan and stuff. Like a lot of people want to.
It helps out mental health.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, let's move on to the next question. There seems to be some aspects of secularism in some anime. You just mentioned the thought demons. Also, there's religious undertones. Shinto and Buddhism have a lot to do with some anime. Even Christianity has a lot to do with anime. What are your thoughts on this kind of content in anime, if you have any?
Well, for that, I feel like that's more like them giving their aspects, or like how they see that certain religion and stuff, and then like for the demons and stuff, like the Nine Tails in Naruto, I feel like that's them just recreating a old story that there was like a while ago about that, and then just remember, just more like keeping up the traditions. Like for example, like in Spanish, like we have La Leona, right? I think it's
You know, like
yeah.
mythology.
Yeah, like we have our mythology, like that's their form of mythology, but keeping it alive, like.
Cool. So yeah, it seems like in terms of how I see it, there's an older, ancient, belief system in Japan that seems to be in contrast to the newer types, the more westernized Japanese. And it seems like there's a tug and war kind of thing, where you have the shogunate and the older religions of Japanese people, versus the newer and the more westernized. There's no greater example than Cowboy Bebop, where you have Vicious and Spike Spiegel. Spike is a suit-wearing guy that uses guns. Vicious is somebody who's in a yakuza. He only uses swords. He only uses blades, and both of them have religious connotations to them. Where the Spike is less of a, he's more of a secular guy, where Vicious seems to be a practitioner or an adept of what I believe is more Shinto-based, shogunate-based religions. Anything else you want to add to religious undertones in anime?
Like there is a few of them, but then like if you go to Japan itself, like you could tell the difference, because the more like traditional sites, they live usually in the countryside, but then like if you go to Tokyo, like you could see the more like up to date like secular side of Japan. Like that's where you could tell like there is a difference between each home, but that's what brings the beauty to it, because like for example over there, like you could see both aspects, and it will still be like one area, but like with the anime itself, like you could tell both aspects, and you could tell like the story behind each aspect.
Cool. Very well. Moving on to the next question. I believe the last question was something you can just do a whole podcast about.
Yeah.
However, we got to keep moving. What are your favorite anime OVAs or features presently?
For me, I haven't seen many, but like if I have seen some, I don't know if it's a OVA or not. But the one that really stuck to me, it's the one from Naruto. It's where Itachi he's one of the characters. I think you've seen it. It's where he's making the scrambled egg, but he keeps messing up with it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like he keeps messing up with it, and then you find out it's just a dream that Sasuke's been having.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I gotta check that out. I don't think I have seen that one. What do you want to see happen with anime in the future, and when do you see anime going?
In the future, I would like to see more animators, more people like pursuing that type of career,
More animators.
Yeah, more animators, more people just getting used to it, because for example, like the older generation versus the younger generation of people, for example, like my dad and me, like he sees it more as a cartoon, and then for like people my age or people that seen it, like they see it, they understand like there's more. It's more than just a cartoon, because it has a story. You see people die. You connect to some of the characters, and then you see like their psychological side also.
Yeah, which goes into if you want more animators, do you want more animators in the U.S. or more animators in Japan? Because this is something that's also important, is that Japan, like at least in the way I see it, or some people also see it this way, is that Japan sees, anime is like kind of originates in Japan. So it's like it's anime itself. The word is short for Japanimation, or Japanese animation, and then they shorten it to animation or anime. But what do you think about like that the thought that animes only in Japan versus some people that see anime actually coming to the States. Do you think it's still anime if it's in the US? For example, Castlevania, which has anime style to it, but it's created here in the US. Do you still see it as anime versus Japanese saying, no, that is not anime, that's, anime comes from Japan, not from the US? Where do you think that, about that specifically?
Like I could see why for both sides, like yes, anime started in Japan, but like even though it's here, like, and it has the same style, like they should be, like, it should be a proud moment because like it's expanding, like it's growing into people, like people are inspiring from other locations to create their own aspects of anime.
Yeah, so you're kind of neutral, but you also see it as it's inevitable. It's going to be here in the States. It's going to grow to other countries. People are going to try to copy it anywhere else, and it's just going to keep evolving in that sense. I kind of disagree and agree in some sense that I like that Americans are going into it and are they keep going in that direction. The only thing is that I don't want to call it Japanese anime. You know what I mean? Like if it's Japanese anime, it's made in Japan. If it's done here, it's more just anime, but it's American anime. Or even the manga-esque stuff, I call it manga-esque, whereas if it comes from Japan, that's where it's manga. It's clearly manga, where in American, like say Scott Pilgrim, that's really like Canadian American manga, whereas Japanese manga is strictly otaku manga stuff. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, like I get your aspects also.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the next question. Do you have any opinions or thoughts on the different styles of anime?
I think like each anime style, it's like it's their creator like that puts their heart into it, like, cause like for example, like when my brother used to make his own edits and stuff, like I saw how much effort he took, how much hours he takes, like just to create like one moving image, but also like how the characters gonna look, like it's their way of like de-stressing and making art with it, like some people like play video games, some people like learning a new language or dive into education, and then some start businesses, but then like for them, like that's their way of showing how they could de-stress, how they could help out like other people that feel the same, but also like how their form of showing support like to the community.
Cool. Which kind of leads into the question, what is different about the anime fandom in comparison to fandoms like comics, gaming, or cosplay? We talked about this before. You brought up the concept that anime can have the effect on a person where they get really proactive. There's this misconception that anime fans are very inverted or introverted, and so they don't work out, they don't do anything of that nature. But I would say that's actually not true. A lot of anime fans go to cons, they go to Anime Expo, they work out regularly, they game themselves. And you brought up the concept that some anime people work out not to just cosplay better or be more fit, but they want to embody the character themselves. They want to be Goku, they want to be Naruto. Is there anything that else you wanted to mention about that?
Yeah, like I feel like that fandom is one of those that like I could see in the club where people join together, they bond, but also like they help each other like grow and like motivate each other. Like for example, in our Discord we have a art channel where we post like our own art style of like certain, like our fan art basically, and then like we push each other. We're like, yeah, that's amazing. Like like we don't judge really that much. Like we're more open minded, like to new concepts, to, and then like it pushes us to learn new language because like a lot of people that are in the fandom like try to learn Japanese, and then like what you said earlier, like they push to have this physique of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was a really good thing that I didn't really look into myself. I was like thinking, you know, I see everybody as very business based. Like if they are into a hobby, they're into a hobby because they want to they want to take from the hobby and make themselves more viable. You know, more. They want to make themselves into a business model or some brand. But I never thought that you know, people do it because they want to also embody the characteristics of a character. They're looking for the nobility, the honor of a certain character, and that what they carry with them. So that's actually a new concept altogether that I never really thought of before. Which goes into the next question. Back to the kind of the campus vibe, and the meetings itself. The Anime Club meetings are very inviting, fun, and competitive. I feel the club is a positive thing for the campus. Any ideas or any new ideas, or you think of anything new for the next semester for Anime Club?
Well, for next semester, we're planning to, like, we started this earlier this semester. It was just a trial run, but we were planning to do a newsletter, like, to promote creative artists, like writers, drawers, or like anyone that's interested, like, in any of those fields, like, and then have our own like manga created at Cerritos College. We worked with someone that used to post manga on the wall. It was the Falcon Lore, that's what they called it, but like we're planning to expand on that. But then also we're planning to do events, like hopefully every other week, like we could have a trivia night, like, or we could like debate on certain topics, like who's stronger, Goku or Superman.
Cool. I know you said you wanted to have like a video or something to kind of put out there so that weebs can find it and like see it as some kind of advertisement, so that they know about Anime Club, that it exists, and they can go. They're welcome to join at any time. Did you want to care to say anything about that?
For that, yeah, but I believe at first we have a lot of projects coming up, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's one of them.
yeah.
Cool. Do you want to have any message for any fellow weebs out there?
Well, you could always join the club if you want, but also like in the Discord, like you could join it even if you don't go to this campus anymore. Like it's open just for general like topics, and like we're just trying to build a community more like between each other's, like, so no one feels left out, like between, because I know the community is one of those where everyone's either isolated or they have their fellow groups that they hang out with or discuss it.
Cool. How do you feel the Spring Carnival event went? I know you were getting pulled around to different areas, but why primarily stay around Anime Club?
Well, I stayed around Anime Club mostly. It was because, like, even though I'm in charge of all the clubs and I did do my rounds here and there to check up on every club, well, I'm also the president of Anime Club, so like I had to make sure that like the club was running well, and if they need a break, I could take over like for a few minutes. And
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that you were getting pulled into other areas, but you always found your way back to Anime Club. How about anything, do you want to add anything else to this interview? Anything specifically about anime? I know anything about your brother, that why did he, you mentioned that you guys are different about what kind of animes you like, but both of you are both motivated. Anything you want to say about you being motivated by anime, to end this interview?
Well, by anime, I was motivated more like to push, like to be a leader, because like, for example, like Erwin from Attack on Titan, I looked at his philosophy of leadership styles, and like it pushed me like to look at different philosophies of different characters, but also like different aspects of perceptions and views of that you could see in anime characters themselves.
It was in Armin, right? Was it
Erwin.
Erwin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Naruto, like he had one goal and then he's still stuck by it, like even though like he lost his friend and all through that
Yeah.
like it shows you like it showed so many aspects for me like of ways to grow as a character.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's very insightful. I would say that that's very, that kind of sums up everything about this interview. Really quick, just for fun, who would you want as, who would you pick as your waifu if you could choose one?
For me personally, I think I'll stick with Tsunade because like she was pretty good as a leader, but then also she could heal. She had the healing ability.
Cool. I totally forgot who Jackie said was her husbando. But I myself would play Mikasa Ackerman just because everybody likes her. Other than that, I think we're good. Just wanted to go over one last thing. I want to thank Cory and Jackie, also the Telemarks News team for providing this podcast room for us. This has been a very rewarding experience. We covered a lot about the phenomenon that we all know and love, which is anime. I also put, just to end this podcast, all hail Goku and Master Itachi-san, just for humor. Any last thoughts before we go?
No, I would like to thank Telemarks for this podcast also, and hope to do more with you guys soon.
More collaborations.
Yeah, more collabs.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, that's it. Cool. All right, we are set.